Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GraceKennedy Heather Little White Household Worker of the Year Award presentation ceremony. I am Faye Ellington, and it is truly a pleasure for me to share in this occasion with you. We're here today to recognize the contribution of some unsung heroes of our society, men and women who, by the work they do in our homes every day, make our lives run smoothly. Household workers help many of us to maintain a balance between work and family and the many other demands of our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, I recognize the presence of the Honorable Olivia Babsey-Grange, who will be our guest speaker today, as well as our special guests, the honorees of the moment. It is that time of day when we take a break to enjoy our midday meal, and today is no different. Lunch will now be served, and while you savor the scrumptious meal lovingly prepared by Chef Cole and his team, Dee Burns, one of our fine young entertainers, and his band will entertain you, and perhaps you'll recognize his face from being a love interest in ring games on TVJ. More on that anon. As is customary, before we eat, it is fitting that we give thanks, and I now invite Frank James to come forward, the Chief Executive Officer of GK Foods Domestic, to say grace.
Let us pray. Dear Lord and our Heavenly Father, we acknowledge you as Lord of all, and we welcome your presence with us on this very special occasion. This occasion when we celebrate excellence, when we celebrate hard work, when we celebrate loyal dedication, Lord, when we celebrate those who are often not celebrated, the unsung heroes of Jamaica, our household workers. During this season of Christmas, more than any other season, we are reminded of the importance of stopping to give thanks. And so firstly, we give you thanks for the gift of your Son, whose birth we celebrate at this time. We thank you, Lord, for every person gathered here today. We thank you, Lord, for those who have organized this event. We thank you for the GraceKennedy Group and its contribution to Jamaica, the Caribbean, and indeed the world. And we thank you, Lord, for our household workers, the men and women who tirelessly work to make our lives comfortable and to make us productive. Indeed, Lord, they are the backbone of our society, and without them we could not stand. And so, Lord, we give you thanks for their lives and their work. We thank you also for the families that they support, the families that have seen it fit to nominate them and recognize them for their love, dedication, and commitment. And so, Lord, as we gather in fellowship this afternoon to give you thanks for all these things, we also thank you for this food that has been provided to enhance our fellowship and to nourish our bodies. We ask that you bless this food to our bodies as we continue in your service. And finally, Lord, we ask for your blessings on all of us gathered here, that this Christmas season will be filled with joy, health, peace, and the love of family and friends. All these things we ask in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. And we all say, Amen.
Good afternoon with us, Lenny. It is so good to see you. Dee Burns, come right here, sir. This is Lenny Little White. Ladies and gentlemen, in Jamaica, you see, anything we have color, we call it rose. Hello. This is a carnation. It are not a rose. So look on it good. So when you buy them for dahlia, you know say a carnation. And if you're buying a rose, Hawks this mad you will sell it to show you what is a rose.
Thank you, Auntie Fee.
And it's a serious lesson you get today, you know. You can imagine you buy some flowers, go to some girl and say, here is some rose and a periwinkle. Clap him again. I love him. Young man from Clarendon, Glenmuir High School, the band leaders from Glenmuir as well. You stop laughing over there then. You didn't know that it's a carnation? Tafani, you didn't know that it's a carnation?
Very much so. I'm from Africa. We grow a lot in Africa.
Come on, for people them say, but you are from Africa, we grow that a lot in Africa. They are my brothers. I love them dearly. Clap them one more time. The musical gathering with D. Burns. When I see him take up the flowers and I sing about rose, I really had to take up one out of my arrangement. But I say, I wonder if they have rose on that the table and me have carnation over there, so. So I get up and I look, me say, everybody have carnation. By the way, notice how they put the sorrel flowers in the arrangement. Sorrel is a versatile thing, you know. Anyway, let's move on. At this time, I'd like to invite the Group CEO of GraceKennedy. GraceKennedy Limited. You know when you go foreign and you buck up the Grace products, I mean, at the supermarket, them, your heart just swell with pride. Senator Don Webby, could you come forward and officially welcome the gathering? The sorrel flowers in the arrangement. Sorrel is a versatile thing, you know. Anyway, let's move on. At this time, I'd like to invite the Group CEO of GraceKennedy. GraceKennedy Limited. You know when you go foreign and you buck up the Grace products, I mean, at the supermarket, them, your heart just swell with pride. Senator Don Webby, could you come forward and officially welcome the gathering?
Honorable Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sports, what a long title, Babsy, Oliver Babsy Grange, President, Jamaica Household Workers Union and Caribbean Domestic Workers Network, Shirley Price, my dear friend Shirley, GKHWA judges, welcome, GK executive members. Can the GK executive members and the senior managers just stand quickly for me and be recognized? Thank you. As we say at Grace, we don't only give out of the pocket, we give with our hearts. So that's why we have so many of our executives here celebrating this special occasion. Honorees and nominators, welcome. Members of the media, welcome. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all good afternoon. You know, there's a Jamaican song that says, "Make the Christmas catch you in a good mood. May the Christmas catch you feeling fine." I'm not going to be Barack Obama, but let me see if I can do something here. May the Christmas catch you in a good mood. May the Christmas catch you feeling fine. So those of you who just heard that, you realize that I didn't do so well in music and singing in high school. In fact, I got an E, and the only reason why I never got an F is because the teacher was sorry for me. Anyway, I enjoyed myself. You know, when you think about it, I think that song describes how I'm feeling this afternoon. This for several reasons, and it's really a Christmas spirit. And this event is just one of them why I'm feeling so happy this afternoon. Colleagues, I'm celebrating Tony Ann Singh's win at the Miss World event in London on the weekend. What an amazing, amazing young lady. She represented us regally like a true queen from Jamaica, and we are all very proud. Then there was Shelly Ann, our Shelly Ann. We claim her as GK's because she has been a part of our family as an ambassador for over a decade now. And for those of you who don't know why she runs so fast, because she loves Grace Vienna sausages. No joke. She walked away with the title of the Pan Am Female Athlete of the Year on Saturday. These two young ladies speak to all that is right with Jamaica. More importantly, they embody, as Shaggy would say, the strength of a woman, the strength of a Jamaican woman. I salute all the wonderful women here this afternoon, especially our guest speaker, Honorable Minister Grange. This woman is a powerhouse who has taken brand Jamaica to the world while running a super ministry of culture, gender, entertainment, and sports. Friends, that's a lot of work. And I have known the minister for a very, very long time. Babsy never stops. I want you to give our minister a big round of applause. Babsy is certainly a very special Jamaican woman. And that shows again, Babsy, the strength of a Jamaican woman. And it's really, really nice to see you this afternoon. And thanks for accepting our invitation. Today we are lifting up more of our strong women, along with their male counterparts, and saluting the strength of Jamaican people on a whole. The individuals being honored today are not the ones you would see on the track, like Shelly Ann, in politics, like the minister, or in beauty contests, or in a beauty contest, like Tony Ann. They are instead quiet, unsung heroes, working steadily and privately, and contributing to all of us in a very significant way. I'm talking about, surely, our household workers. The GraceKennedy Heather Littlewhite Household Workers Awards actually started 6 years ago to recognize and reward the hard-working groups of Jamaicans who work so hard to make us shine, but often get little recognition for their life-changing, nation-building work. Let me recognize again Simone Clark Cooper and Jean Laurie Chin, if you can stand. These two ladies came to me with this idea, and that was the easiest decision for me as a group CEO. I said yes within a minute, Simone, and thank you very much for your innovation. So as a company, GraceKennedy, we were born on Valentine's Day in 1922. So in 2022, we're going to be celebrating our 100th anniversary. This means that we bring a lot of love and care. It's at the heart of everything we do. We are showing love and care to our household workers today. I want to also recognize another strong woman who was Dr. Heather Littlewhite, in whose name we give this award. Heather, as you know, was a personal friend of mine and a very dedicated, committed, and loyal GraceKennedy employee. I really, Lenny, her brother, think of Heather a lot. Even in difficult times, I always refer to her advice in my own mind, and she's still very much here with us, Lenny. I want to recognize Lenny, her brother Lenny. Good to see you. And our dear friend Cheryl, you understand? Cheryl, who have been working with us since we started this initiative to help Heather's memory and legacy alive. Today, we will announce a top male and female household worker of the year and reward several more who have made it to the top 10. I understand from the judges who, Gina, saw you in the meeting room at our new corporate headquarters, a lot of them teary-eyed, that this year was perhaps the toughest year for them in terms of judging, because the entries was just so impressive. The Chief Judge Tony is here. We'll hear from our Chief Judge in more detail soon, but I want to take this opportunity to thank them now and present them with tokens of appreciation for what they have done. I want to now invite our CEO of the Grace Financial Group, Grace Burnett, on stage with me, to present our first token. Grace, give her a warm welcome. Grace will be presented to our Chief Judge and retired GraceKennedy executive, Anthony Tony Lawrence. Anthony, can I invite you up? Congrats, Tony, and thank you very much, man. Thanks a lot. I'm going now to invite, hold on, Grace, not finished with it yet. I'm going to invite Jean Laurie Chin, Head of Procom and CCRP, to join us. Looking lovely in your red blouse here, madam. Jean. Yes. I will now ask our CFO, Mr. Andrew Masado. Andrew? Give Andrew a round of applause. Andrew was actually on vacation but came out for this special event. So thank you for breaking your vacation, Andrew. I'm going to ask Mrs. Shirley Price, President of the Jamaica Household Workers Union and Caribbean Domestic Workers Union, to join us. Shirley. Shirley has really been a stalwart behind this event. Thanks so much, Shirley. Smile, Masada, smile. Thanks a lot. Hold on, Andrew. I'm going to ask my darling Miss Maisie Miller to join us. Maisie has served us with distinction at GraceKennedy, and she also, Lenny, worked very, very closely, as you know, with Heather Little-White. And Maisie is my teacher of how to cook the ham. I need a revised tutoring. I think I've fallen off a little bit. Wow, nice man. Welcome to me then. Eh? You know I'm the jealous type. Thank you, Andrew. To present our final 3 awards, I'd like to invite our Chief Corporate Secretary and General Counsel, Gail Solomon, on stage. Gailos. Gail will present to Mrs. Frances Madden, a Jamaican icon. I must say, when I saw Mrs. Madden here today, I felt so happy. Mrs. Madden, as you know, is a retired general manager of Grace and Staff and what I would describe as a national treasure. Give her another big round of applause. She promised to come look for me. Gail will now also present to Angela Grandison. That's Angela. Where's Angela? Angela is actually a mentee or is a mentee of Heather Little-White, and I'm sure she'll tell you she had learned a lot from Heather. Amen. And the final presentation goes to, token goes to Millicent Clunes. Where is Millicent? Ligani chapter. She walking nice and sprucey too. You have the Christmas spirit in you. Millicent Clunes. Give her a round of applause. From the Jamaica Household Workers Union. Yes, man, anytime. Like how you walk spruce, I can hug you, right, Faye? Thank you, Gail, and a round of applause for all our judges. Give them a big round of applause. Our awardees in recent years have benefited significantly from participation in these awards. Many have gone on to use their prize money to further their education and the education of their dependents and to pursue other dreams. Our 2018 winners, Michael Brown. Can you stand and be recognized, big man? The singer. Well, Michael, I must say you made my Christmas last year. You know, as I said it in another forum, you know, sometimes motivation comes in different ways. Sometimes you are being motivated by other business leaders. Sometimes you are being motivated by your church brothers and sisters. And then sometimes you meet somebody that is very special, that inspire you and motivate you. And that person for me last year was Michael Brown. Thank you. And Rosemary Forrester. Rosemary Forrester. Nice to see you, Rosemary. I'm not getting a hug up. Come give me a hug quickly then. Lord of mercy. Next thing people think I'm like the old Gigi. What's my name again? Floresdale Glasspool. Every woman want a kiss and hug from. Our winner from last year. Thank you. Okay, so listen, colleagues, I have some good news, but let me give you the run-up, as the fast bowlers would say. So, for the past 6 years, we have been awarding our winners $300,000 and our runners-up $200,000 each. I'd like to make a special announcement this afternoon that GraceKennedy, to show our true commitment to this event and our belief in this event, we're going to be increasing our prize money right in time for Christmas. This year's prize winners will receive, instead of 300,000, $500,000 Jamaican dollars. That is $500,000 to the winners. And our runners-up will receive $250,000 each. The winners will also receive $200,000 as a grant towards their education or the education of a child of their choice. That's an increase of $100,000 over the previous years. And let me say this, that, Babsy, we speak a lot about our economy. We speak a lot about the challenges of crime. But one thing I believe in, Lenny and my dear friends, that the true solution to Jamaica's challenges is to have a more educated population. I also, and I said it at a previous function, that I don't believe education in Jamaica should be a privilege. I believe it should be a right to have a good education. And that is why at GraceKennedy we are targeting, forecasting to send 1,000 children to school by 2022, and we're now sending 600. And the truth is, those children are from the inner city. Without a proper meal, without GraceKennedy paying their education, they would not have the opportunity to go to school. And let me say this, that when you go through the results, which I do, these children are getting distinctions in all the sciences and the maths. All I wanted was the opportunity. So for the winner who is getting this $200,000 today, I ask that you spend it right, spend it wisely, and ensure that we can educate one more person in Jamaica. Grace and staff, and I know Simone is going to be laughing because I've gone totally off text. At Grace and staff, we celebrated our 40th anniversary, and there was an experience that we had at GraceKennedy where we invite some of the beneficiaries of the Grace and Staff Foundation, which are these same children that we educated, and some of them are not. They're troubled children in the area and needs help. And at a business conference, I heard a story, and I'm going to cut the long story short, but this young man came up and he said that a few years ago somebody boxed him, and he got so mad that he actually went for a gun to shoot the person, because he said that this thing about disrespect and not knowing how to deal with certain situations. And he said something said to him, I mustn't do it. I mustn't do it. I mustn't do it. And then he heard about Grace and stuff, and he went to Mrs. Madden over there. And the long story short is that fellow graduated from university with a marketing degree. So the Household Workers Association, surely, this is just a part of a bigger vision, a bigger picture of GraceKennedy. What is good for Jamaica must be good for GraceKennedy. Let me recognize our other subsidiaries and for additional cash and prizes. First Global Bank, our bank. Grace Burnett is here. She's the head of that division. Who else is here? Oh, Stacy, stand up now, Stacy. You give me all the money, man. Stacy, the general manager of our bank, First Global Bank. I must say it's the best bank in Jamaica by far. Don't just clap me, bank with them. And high-low food stores. Catherine Kennedy is here. Catherine is the general manager of High-Low, and Gail Solomon is actually the chairman of High-Low food stores. And they're actually doing very well. And thanks for your contribution, guys. We really, really appreciate it. In winding up, in closing, may I say, in addition to these physical and tangible rewards, they will also leave here today with the reinforcement that their work is dignified, surely, that their work is dignified and respected, and that they're making a difference in the lives of those who work, with whom they work. I always speak about my darling Lizzie, who worked with us for 25 years before retiring. I'm actually seeing her on Friday for her Christmas gift, and she's doing very well, retired in Maypen. Suzette is with us 18 years, and Lisa 16 years. So, household workers, surely to me, it's family, eh? Family. Love them can't done. When I go on vacation, I miss them bad. By the way, they do go on vacation. So I want to thank the nominators for taking the time to shine the spotlight on these very deserving people. Can the nominators stand just for me so I can just recognize you? The nominators who nominated. Sorry, thank you so much. I actually scratched my head when I was reading what I was going to say. I said nominators, but then I realized that what nominators were about, right, Frank? Okay, so in closing, colleagues, let me take this opportunity to congratulate all our finalists. May the best man and may the best woman win. But you're all winners. I mean, sincerely, you represent the strength of Jamaica. I also want to take this opportunity to wish everyone in this room happy holidays. Have a safe, enjoyable Christmas, and I wish all of you the very best for the new year. As you would have heard, I've always finished my speeches like this. God bless Jamaica, the greatest country in the world. Thank you.
But from 500,000, up to 500,000 from 300, up to 250 for run-up from 215. I can't wait to hear who win. Thank you again, Senator Webby. Oh, by the way, again, when you tell me about how the thing move up, Senator, me just look upon the dessert and I say, but the dessert match how you say it move up. Here it is, champagne soursop sauce. A champagne move up this, Oh, and lemongrass chocolate truffle. Nice, man. Oh, clap the hotel. We should bring out Maisie. When you get a chance, bring out, if you're not too busy, bring out Chef Cole so people meet him. If it's not too busy, all right. So, ladies and gentlemen, these awards are presented by GraceKennedy Limited in association with the Jamaica Household Workers Union. The JHWU must be commended for championing the cause of household workers. Come on. And The driving force behind this organization, of course, is the dynamic Shirley Price. Miss Price is the co-founder and president of the union. So she get up fast, a driving force that, you know. She's also the founder of the Caribbean, listen to this, also the founder of the Caribbean Domestic Workers Network, the Antigua Domestic Workers Association. She's not just here in Jamaica, you know, and one of the founders of the International Domestic Workers Federation. And a pia smart it is. She's been a human rights advocate for over 25 years, volunteering, championing the empowerment and rights of domestic workers around the world. And she will tell you that she was mentored by Dr. Heather Little-White Lenny. We just resound our name, for whom the award was named. So I now invite Miss Price to come and just speak to you, share with you. Miss Shirley. She look nice, not true? Woo!
Thank you, Auntie Faye. Thank you so much. Honorable Minister Olivia Grange, Minister of Culture, Gender, Entertainment and Sport, Mr. Webby, CEO of GraceKennedy and staff of GraceKennedy, all the managers of GraceKennedy. I must big up Auntie Dayan. Where Dayan there? Yeah, man. She's not in here. No, man. Oh, my God. She worked very hard. And we must big her up, man. Good job, Dayan. Good job. Clap her, man. Good job. That's the word. You need to, but I must big up Dayan. Yes, man. Esteemed judges, members of the Household Workers Union, distinguished awardees, ladies and gentlemen, a wonderful day to you. Today marks another of our realization, dream for household workers in Jamaica. Today, household workers across the length and breadth of this country have much to celebrate. And I dare say we are getting bigger each day. Thank you, GraceKennedy, for making our dream a reality. Many years ago, when I saw another company having Policeman of the Year, Nurse of the Year, Teacher of the Year, we said we want Domestic Workers of the Year too. So we approached them to say if they could sponsor this award. And they have other plans for us. They want us to have some cook-off. We agree, but we want Domestic Worker of the Year. And I remember we went to several meetings at Procom, at Relly's Road, at Spanish Town Road, you know, back and forth. But when Miss Jean Lorichin called us to say, Shirley, I am now working with GraceKennedy. And I brought the idea to them, and they will do the award. Can you come to a meeting? I ran to the Bureau of Women's Affairs then, and I spoke to Miss Williams and Miss McCleary, and they said, yes, you know, see what it says. And when I came, Mr. Webby said, Shirley, how you feel if we say it's Heather Little-White Award? Remember Mr. Webby, remember the day? And I said, yes, man, she's my mentor. She mentored me. You know, and I was very happy for that, you know, because Dr. Little-White have her back. She have domestic worker back. I remember there was something in the Gleaner negative about domestic worker. And Doc called me one day and said, one morning, early morning, and I said, Shirley, can you come to the office? I said, Doc, you know, I'm at work. She said, no, you have to come now. She said, take a taxi, I will pay the taxi when the taxi comes. I said, okay. So I took a taxi and I went to her office. She said, did you read the newspaper? I said, no. And she showed me the article in the paper. And she showed me a response. She responded by the time I got there and said, you have to respond and send out all these to the media houses. I didn't write it. She wrote it and said, I think it was saying like some domestic workers are thieves or something or whatever. She said, every workers are thieves. Everybody is a thief. And she always saying that domestic workers alone, you're classified, so they are thieves. Why? You know? And she wrote the article, and I remember what it was now, though, and she sent it to the newspaper. I sent it to the newspaper and to all the media houses. That's how Dr. Little White is. She looked out for us. She called me nothing about Dr. Price. Because she said, you must go to school. You can do it. I want you to be called Dr. Price. And I'm sorry she's not here today because, I've been through it. I've an advanced master's from Penn State University. I'll know that. And, But, I got this drive because she was there to push me. She was there. I wish she was there now because I would have been Dr. Price long time. Yeah. If she was there, I would have been Dr. Price long time because that push is not there anymore. I have many persons pushing me still, because I have so many room right now. Dr. Dunn, Auntie Judy. Yes, Auntie Judy, The Bureau of Gender Affairs, they have me from I was crawling until I'm running now. They are the one, Mr. Webb can tell you, they are the one who I said, Mr. Webb need to have a function to the person them that Bureau of Men's Affairs work with till they are established. You need to have something. Joyce, you it in the house here. Many of these persons, held my hand right through until I am where I am today, fighting for domestic workers right globally. I just came back from Canada. And what they asked me to do, they just had their election, and they did a vision statement, and they asked the Jamaica Household Worker Union to be a part of a team to analyze their vision statement. You see what that means? I said, I cannot come because I had a broken shoulder. He said, no, I will fly you first class. Just for me to be there. And when I look at that vision statement, it didn't say anything about informal worker. I said, this is not ready yet. Until you put informal worker, this must be written out in there. Something about your action plan, because they gave us some action plan. It must say informal workers. If you say woman, I say it includes domestic workers. A lot of things say women and domestic workers are included. I wanted informal workers to be included. And when I was there, I said, we don't mean paper, we need action. When I finished speaking, everybody there on action, Shirley. Action, Shirley. But today I'm very happy. We are coming from afar. One little bench at Ripon Road in 1991, yeah. One bench. Every time they're going to the bathroom, we have to move the chair for them to go to the bathroom and put it back. Move the chair, put it back. It was 175 of us until he left two. Two of us, myself and Evelyn, who was the president then. And I remember one of the head of the Bureau of Women's Affairs said to us one day, lock it down, two people cannot be an organization, lock it down, which is truth. But then, look at us today, over 6,000 members. As 13 chapters island-wide. We have a federation with over 600,000 members. That's big, that's huge. And guess what? We're taking over the world. Domestic workers is taking over the world because everywhere you go, domestic workers have to be there and the program representing, especially Jamaica Household Worker Union, may I tell you. I remember once we went somewhere and we spoke, and next thing me see they have on the TV, Shirley Price Rock. I was the one who spoke. Shirley Price Rock CSW. It was New York. Joyce was there. Shirley Price Rock CSW. Because I was in a room with all ambassadors, and they want us to speak about human trafficking. And I was saying, they gave me something to read, and I was reading, and I'm not sure what I was reading. So I put it down and started to talk from my heart. And I said, who are the culprit of human trafficking? You and you. And I started pointing fingers because you are the one who took away the passport of the domestic workers when they come to your country. And that's what I was saying. And the place Europe. Instant across the thing, Shirley Price Rock CSW. So I said, then send back for me again. Every year they send for me. In the ministerial meetings, and I said, I'm not going because I'm a minister. because I was representing another minister then. I said, me not going for me no minister, but still, even though I wasn't the minister, they invited me to speak because they want to hear about domestic worker and where we are going and how Jamaica domestic worker lead the world. Because when we go there, we not play, we really lead. We really lead because we know how to knock frying pan. We carry frying pan go New York, and when we unlock it, postman walk behind me. Postman walking behind me, but guess what? We said we want women's rights. And there were a lot of thousands of people behind me marching, and I am in the front. When the Prime Minister took me to Geneva, just June, and when I was there, they had a march. My hand was broken, and I was there marching with my cast in my hand like this, leading with my Jamaica Household Worker Union banner. So we have to represent wherever we go, because we are fighting for women's rights. And if you see what's about women's rights, you have to. You don't care what anybody wants, so you have to fight. And fight with respect, So today, I don't know what to say to GraceKennedy. Mr. Webby and the team, I don't know what to say. I'm not sure what to say to you, more than thanks. On behalf of domestic workers, we are saying across the world, because what is happening now, they are using this program as a model in other countries. Yes. They are modeling it in other countries. That's why we say we are trendsetters. Yes, we're a leader. So on behalf of domestic workers, I'll just say thank you. Domestic workers is the oil in the wheel. If it wasn't for domestic workers, I don't know what would happen to many of us here. I'm including myself, because it's hard. It's hard. But domestic workers, I must talk to you also. Too many employers are calling the office to complain that you're walking off your job. Domestic work must be a profession. It's a profession. You must go it and you must do it and be proud. Do it with all your might. Love your job. We don't want employers to be calling to be saying you walk off your job. Something I've been there. I've been abused, sexually abused, working hours, disrespected, sleep in a dog house. Me cook food and me can't eat it. But guess what? You have to be dedicated. You have to be committed. That resilience, you have to have it to move forward. So I'm just saying that we are asking you to stand your ground. Stand your ground and be the best domestic worker you can. I just want to say thanks to the Bureau of Gender Affairs, Minister, under your ruling. I just say thanks because today we have 32 domestic workers in training at the University of Technology in household management and computer literacy under the COPE project, Ms. Rav. Awesome. It's a joy to see small people finally getting big. And I must say congrats to all the awardees. Thank you and have a good day. But before I go, Auntie Faye, Mr. Webby, can you please come up here, sir? Yes, sir. Yes, miss. Yes. Elaine and Nikki, VP, Minister, can you come, please? Our second and first Vice President. President and Vice President. Mr. Webby, on behalf of the domestic workers across on behalf of domestic workers, I wouldn't say in Jamaica because I'm representing domestic workers globally. So, and when I go to speak about GraceKennedy, the best private sector, and they should adopt what you're doing and do it also. So I'm saying in recognition of your years of dedication and sterling contribution to the Jamaica Household Worker Union. It says 2018 that this was supposed to be given to you from last year. But sir, yes sir, it was, you see, look in the art, it's here, it was done, and but we didn't get to do it, so we are presenting to you now, and on behalf of us all, we are happy to have you working with us. Wow. And the team, thank you. Minister, 1989. True. Right here at this award ceremony.
That's true.
And when I asked him, the protocol person was saying, Prime Minister, have to go, you have to go. PM said, I'm staying to hear her speak. And he did stay, and he heard me speak. And when I spoke, I asked him to ratify Convention 189.
Just said it.
Because it is the convention that protects domestic workers. And I go to Geneva, go Mass Street, and fight too hard for it as a Jamaican, so I needed to ratify it. I said, sir, make it your mandate. He did. He ratified the convention. Yes, and he did. So today, I again went to Geneva. Myself, the Prime Minister, Minister of Labour, team, June, and we fought for the sexual harassment law to be in place. So today, I'm saying again, Minister,
She needs a personal assistant.
yes. Oh, it's in the follow-up. Sorry. Yes. I'm saying this new convention protects all workers, not just some workers, irrespective of contractual status, intern, apprentices, people in training, workers whose employment has been terminated, volunteers, and job seekers. It has a strong focus on gender-based violence. Women are disproportionately affected by violence and harassment in the world of work. It covers all sectors in the public and private sector, rural and urban, formal and informal. The scope of the world of work is much larger than the actual workplace. And that's why we are saying Convention 190 leaves no one behind.
That's right.
So, Minister, this is the convention. I'm presenting to you, to take back to the Prime Minister, to say, ratify Convention 190. 190. It is historical because Jamaica will be the first country to ratify, and it will be under the mandate. Yes. So please, ratify. You have done so much work. The act is coming up, so you already done the work. So ratify the convention. Ratify Convention 190.
190.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Well, there we go. We know what needs to be ratified, and I know Minister is going to be working post-haste. So the Honorable Olivia Babsy-Grange is our guest speaker today, and she served long and hard in this country. She has been a member of Parliament from 1997. Yes? That's a number of years. She is currently the longest serving member of Parliament in the House of Representatives. Female, woman, we're dealing with women, right? Because we know there are others, right? We're dealing with women. And she was appointed to the super ministry in 2016. I was saying, and we were saying at our table, you were such a hard-working politician. No one can take that from you. So with that, I'd like to welcome you to speak, to address this gathering, and I know they are anticipating what you have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Faye. Thank you so much, Faye. Well, surely it's a very hard act to follow. And my speech was a little lengthy. I hear someone say, oh. Don't worry. Don't worry. But I'm going to just acknowledge the presence of my dear friend, Senator Don Webby. And I want to thank you for inviting me here. And to the GraceKennedy group of company, to the family, it's really great being in your company. As for Miss Shirley Price, Dr. Shirley Price, and all the members of the union, Shirley, you take the prize. You always do. And it's always great to be with you. I must acknowledge Chief Judge Anthony Lawrence and all the NGOs who are here, the women's NGOs and the men NGOs. and Mrs. Robinson, Sharon Robinson, head of the Bureau of Gender Affairs, my dear friend Lenny Littlewhite. We're always on WhatsApp, no matter what. And to Cheryl, who is always there. Ladies and gentlemen, resilience. And just before I get into my speech, where is Mayor Scott? Mayor Scott and I had a meeting, and it's way past the time. He's sitting here. He has joined us in the meantime. So resilience, diligence, and dedication. These are just some of the attributes displayed by the extraordinary and phenomenal women and men we are celebrating here today. A domestic worker is defined as, and I quote, a worker who performs work in a household on a professional or occupational basis. End of quote. Domestic workers are also referred to as household workers and contribute significantly to the global workforce and therefore nation building. As a result, they are the cords that keep a vast majority of Jamaican families together. These hardworking women and men are considered to be the backbone of families as they play the dual role of taking care of families in private homes and returning to their own homes to provide the same care and support for their own families. The benefits of their work can be seen through the nurture of children and the elderly as they contribute to the development of wholesome values and attitudes among family members. I think there are many families here. I don't know what you would do without your household help. And I want you all to really stand and give them a big, big round of applause. Domestic workers have contributed significantly to national development through their exceptional contribution to the social, economic, cultural, political, and educational sectors in society. Their achievements are far-reaching and must be celebrated both locally and internationally. Despite their immense contribution, however, household workers are often unrecognized. For far too long, domestic workers had no rights at work, as the work they performed was not recognized as real work within society, or in law, or in practice. Additionally, in many countries, they were not covered by labor legislation and had no rights to form unions. However, ladies and gentlemen, 2011 was the year that brought the change. The defining moment came with the adoption of the International Labour Organization, ILO, Convention 189, which is referred to as C-189, and that is what Shirley referred to here today. In 2011, the C-189 dealt with the decent work for domestic workers during the 100th session of the International Labour Organization held in Geneva in Switzerland. Recommendation 201 on decent work for domestic workers was also adopted and provided the first global standards to protect domestic workers. It made provision for the improvement of the working and living conditions of tens of millions of domestic household workers worldwide. These new standards are a strong recognition of the economic and social value of domestic work and a call for action to address the existing exclusion of domestic workers from labor and social protection. Given that most domestic household workers are women, most of them, the new standards are an important step to advance gender equality in the world of work and ensure women's equal rights and protection under the law. Convention 189 guarantees fundamental labor rights to an estimated 53 million domestic household workers worldwide. It was adopted and was entered into force in September 2013. This convention seeks to provide improved working and living conditions for domestic household workers worldwide. It promotes the achievement of productive work in conditions of freedom, equity, security, and human dignity. Convention 189 is embedded in the theme, rights at work, solidarity, and ending poverty and equality. Consequently, it recognizes the significant contribution of domestic household workers to the global economy. The adoption of C-189 was not an easy journey. It took years of determination and harmonized effort from domestic household workers organizations, from NGO movements and international development partners, as well as supporting groups worldwide. The government of Jamaica has long recognized the need to invest in the lives of our household workers to ensure that they achieve the highest possible standard of life. Our commitment to you, the household workers here, include the following. 1, the ratification of the International Development Standards of the ILO Convention 189 on decent work for domestic workers on September 22, 2016, when Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that the government, based on its commitment to empower women and men economically, signed the instrument of ratification of ILO Convention C-189, also known as the Domestic Workers Convention. The government of Jamaica's focus on the agenda of decent work for household workers is critical, as it is central to the improvement of working conditions of household workers. 2, 8 weeks maternity leave allowance entitlement for female domestic workers. This ensures that female household workers will not only have job security after delivery, but will also receive similar benefits as other female workers in the society. And that was an important decision made. And at this time, I know you all hear about paternity leave and the conversation that's taking place. Number 3, effective protection against all forms of abuse, harassment, and violence. One such protection is through the Sexual Harassment, Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act 2019. And this bill seeks to protect women and men, including household workers, from unwanted sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and crude sexual behavior within the workplace. And I must tell you, there are some stories that are sometimes quite sad. Another protection is through the ratification of Convention number 190 and recommendation number 206, which speaks to eliminating violence and harassment in the world of work. So as Minister responsible for gender affairs, I will continue to work collaboratively with my colleague Minister of Labor and Social Security, the Honorable Shaini Robinson, to advocate for safe workspaces for our household workers. This is in keeping with our obligation to provide work environments which are free from any form of gender-based violence and discrimination, and where your rights are recognized, upheld, and protected. The Bureau of Gender Affairs, which is a division of my ministry, the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sports, and anything else they can find to put there, partners and collaborates with the Jamaica Household Workers Union to provide technical and financial support through several initiatives. The initiatives are designed to empower household workers across the island and include, but are not limited to, the following things. 1, the commemoration of International Domestic Workers' Day annually on June 16 as part of the celebration. We always, through the Bureau, join with the JHWU and award 40 household workers through what we call the Invisible Giant Award. 2, the commemoration of World Day for Decent Work annually on October 7, as part of this year's celebration, the Bureau and the Union sensitized 43 household workers on sexual harassment in the workplace and ways to improve their mental health during an information session. 3, awareness-raising sessions that are conducted by the Bureau with household workers across Jamaica to provide sensitization on the issue of gender-based violence and workers' rights within the workplace. 4, the community outreach through Partnership for Empowerment, which the acronym is COPE, C-O-P-E. And this was launched on July 26, 2019. This initiative was designed to increase the financial support that government provides to non-government organizations and to community groups to which the Jamaica Household Workers Union is a recipient. Through this initiative, the government has contributed to the institutional development of the Jamaica Household Workers Union, which resulted, ladies and gentlemen, in the increase of membership and increase their ability to support their members. As a part of their activities under COPE, during Phase 1, which spans the period April 2019 to March 2020, the Jamaica Household Workers Union collaborated with the National Housing Trust to train 32 household workers in household management at the University of Technology. And we are extremely, extremely proud to have been a part of this initiative. So I extend special commendation to the Jamaica Household Workers Union for working assiduously over the years to ensure that all household workers have a voice and that their needs are heard and addressed adequately. And I'm telling you, surely voice alone carries the swing. But all the members of that union are dynamic and very focused. And I really want to applaud them. Over the years, GraceKennedy, Heather Little White Household Workers Award, continues to honor outstanding household workers who have made a tremendous difference to families and households in various sectors of society. And this prestigious award, which is presented in honor of Dr. Little White, has not only publicly affirmed the value of the work done by Jamaican household workers, but identifies it as dignified work, which is deserving of respect and appreciation. And I'm very happy and inspired by this. I also want to commend Senator Don Webby and the GraceKennedy family for their commitment to the annual Heather Little White Household Workers Award. And I'm very happy that Lenny Little White could be here with us today to share. Just before I close, I just want to indicate that we have a program called the Mentor Me 2020, which we will be going full speed ahead next year to roll out. And this is a program in selected schools across Jamaica as part of the outreach focus of the Special Service Desk for the Men, because we can't leave our men behind. And this follows on the intensive training which was provided to several young men to equip them with skills required for sustainable development. What were those skills? Household work, housekeeping, food preparation. A number of young men were trained through the Bureau in this area because we feel that men must also be good husbands. And they must play a part in what we're doing. Right now, household helpers, the women outnumber the men. And we believe in gender balance. And so we want to encourage more men. And so we're working with young men to ensure that they also know how to do household work. We also plan to roll out another program which is called the Young Fathers Jamaica, in partnership with the Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation. The Women's Center of Jamaica Foundation is another entity which falls under my ministry, where we assist teenage mothers and pregnant teenagers. Some have been sexually abused, some just happen to be experimenting and get pregnant. And those youngsters, we are ensuring that once they have their babies, they are reintegrated into the educational system. But again, we can't leave the men behind. So we have to take care of these young fathers and make them amazing dads. And so we have this program which we are going to be training them and working with them to ensure that they become amazing dads and not fathers who are not respecting and honoring their duty. So when I deliberately changed the name of the Women's Bureau to the Bureau of Gender Affairs, we wanted to make sure that we were focusing on gender balance, that we were not leaving our men behind, and that we were working towards strengthening our women and empowering our women, but also making sure that our men were there with us as partners. So with those words, I want to really again congratulate all the awardees and thank GraceKennedy for being a good corporate citizen. Bless you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. We appreciate the partnerships, the support, the driving force, and I am particularly interested in the Mentor Me 2020 for the men, and then the Young Fathers Program. Put your hands together. We're going to be supporting that in every way we can. And you're working in collaboration with the Women's Center, I see. I go there every July to speak with the peer counselors and sometimes beyond that. But thanks again. This function presents us with an opportunity not only to salute the winners of the 2019 awards, but also to celebrate previous winners. We have with us today the inaugural winner of 2014, Elaine Duncan. Where are you? Come on, stand up so they can see you. Good to see you. Aye, and she moves like a queen. Tony Ann, look out. We also have the champion male and female for 2016, Michael Lawson and Millicent Clunis. Hey, Michael. All right, Millicent is here. And I love that frock, Millicent. When it have puppy, I want one. The champion male for 2017, Anthony Houston. Where Anthony? Anthony not in here. All the way from Trelawney, never make it? All right. We also have with us last year's winners, Michael Brown and Rosemary Forrester. And we are so happy to see you. We are truly delighted that you could be here with us today. And of course, you hear the applause that you get. And Minister Shaga Kochun, you and me. All right? Continue to excel and be an inspiration to others. Now, while I've been told that the judges did not have an easy task, and Mr. Webby said it as well, and Mrs. Jean Lorchin said, it was pretty teary-eyed for the most part to find the winners. I believe that you should hear this directly from our chief judge. So let me ask at this point Anthony Lawrence to present the judge's report. Sir Lawrence.
Minister, the Honorable Oliver Bobbs Grange, Mr. Donwary, CEO of GraceKennedy, distinguished nominees, ladies and gentlemen, it was indeed our pleasure, and I say our collectively. The judges sat, we went through the first phase, and when the candidates were invited in for the interviews, I think Andre Grandison Reed asked for a canister of tissues, and they were well used. This award provides us an opportunity to recognize a select group of workers who, through their own special, very helpful way, help us to live a more meaningful life. It was a privileged task which we undertook with the best of our abilities to ensure that GraceKennedy ethos of honesty, integrity, and trust is maintained throughout. Most of us have been serving since the initiation. And I would like to, you have already met the judges, so just to quickly go through, may I ask the judges to stand as I call their name, stand in your place. Mrs. Angela Grandison-Reed, who is head of our consumer services at GraceKennedy. Mrs. Joan Lorichin, founder of Procom Limited. Our retired general manager of Grace and Staff Community Development Foundation, Mrs. Frances Madden, the best social worker in Jamaica. Retired executive chef, Maisie Miller. I think she stepped out for a minute. You have already met Mrs. Shirley Price, the president of the Household Workers Union. And of course, our stand-in when Ms. Price had to miss a day, Mrs. Millicent Clooney, Mrs. Clooney, and our 2016 winner. Good to have you. There are two persons, Mr. Webby, that we didn't say a lot of, but I'd like to personally recognize Veronica Wallace, who was our statistician and our scribe. Where is Veronica? In the back. One of our young talents in GraceKennedy. Thanks, Veronica. And of course, Dion Roden, who ensured that all the communications were sent out and that we did what we had to do. Thanks, ladies. As usual, the candidates were unbelievable. I mean, we sat through and read through the essays. Then we had a chance to meet the candidates with the task of bringing down to a short list of 10. Well, let me tell you, the first cut of 25, thank God for a statistician, because the points were, 1.5 point difference in most cases to move from the first 25 down to the final 10. And we made it. And a couple of things sort of jumped out at us. One, there must have been about 8 nominees who have worked for more than 30 years in households. Right. We saw about 5 persons coming through the top 10 who were either from St. Elizabeth and working in Kingston, and 2 of which were still in St. Elizabeth. The parish St. Elizabeth jumped out at us as an exception. And this year we saw more rural applicants, and we welcome that. And I think Minister Grange will be happy for this. The male nomination went up 400% this year. So the men are becoming, we're moving towards gender equality, gentlemen. And it was really, really very interesting. I will not spend a lot of time there, except to say that we were measuring, we're really judging for some specific points. We're looking for alignment with GraceKennedy's values of honesty, integrity, and trust. We're looking for that caring attitude, which is the GraceKennedy mandate. We care. We're looking for safety inside the household. How do they look about that on a daily basis? We're looking for budgeting skills. How do you help to stretch the dollar inside the home? We're looking for time management skills. As a matter of fact, let me just stop there, because there was one candidate who worked full-time, and I think she had 5 children, the 5 of which went to university, 2 medical doctors, 2 engineers, and another person was in business. And it wasn't atypical. It was only atypical because there were 5 graduates, but a lot of the household workers' children are high achievers. I just wanted to make that point. Family orientation was important to us, and community involvement, because we're looking for that wholesome, holistic type individual who just didn't work but balanced work-life activities. And we found that in the nominees. Mr. Webby, I think you and the Grace team, having continued in the Grace Kennedy tradition, and I think both Lenny and Cheryl should feel very honored that we are recognizing our colleague, Dr. Heather Little-White. And may her soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Executive Chef and a member of the judges panel, Mrs. Maisie Miller, will now present certificates of achievement to each of our 10 nominees. Here comes Mrs. Maisie. And Maisie will also present a copy of a book, Another Mother. And let me tell you, I heard this gentleman being interviewed a few days ago. It's a memoir by a Jewish writer, Ross Kenneth Erkin. The book is published by Ian Randall and Ian Randall Publishers. You know what the book is? The book is a Jewish, and I live in America. The book is a tribute by the author to his Jamaican nanny, who he credits with raising him. So here's Mrs. Maisie Miller. Certificates first. So you can do certificate and book at the same time. Here, put a certificate and book together so it doesn't move it together. Not true? Agree with that? Certificate and book. All right. Go on, Miss Maisie. Grace Kitchens. Oh, when I say Grace Kitchens, I'm not in area. Amazing, oh. They have a little white, of course, that's the thing, and then Grace Kitchens. All right. So Maisie is just presenting to all of these 10 nominees. So they're receiving there to make sure to read that book there because I'm about to buy my copy. Truly. Yes. Did you hear about him, Mr. Webby? Yes, it's Ross Kenneth Erkin. I heard him being interviewed by Dion Jackson Miller, I think it was, a few days ago. And he tells a story of, there were some challenging times, but his nanny from Jamaica, and she had children to raise him and his siblings. And he's decided to write his memoir and feature her as a driving force in his life. Any more than the other one left over, if you think I would take a book and run. You can't run so hard right now, and I better so it up. Then I hold that man over there, so with the usher thing, stand up like him as security. Grace Kennedy security. He must secure the 10 nominees, yes. Everybody has that? They're going to be getting another book. This one is a recipe book. It is Grace Kitchen's commemorative recipe collection titled 50 Not Out, Grace Kitchen's Greatest Hits. And to make this presentation, I now invite Mrs. Angela Grandison-Reed, Consumer Services Manager. And she's going to go right over to the, what are we, is she a feature today? All right. Right over to the, the security has security. All right. No, it go now. I just gave too much trouble. Then again, what is life without a little trouble? Yes, absolutely. I have to be myself at this stage of my life for me to go change now. It now go suit. That the clothes now go fit. I'm a gentleman who makes sure that I get on and off the stage without falling on my face. Me get more book too? All right, thank you, Miss Maisie, thank you, Angela. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been introduced to the top 10 contenders for the Household Work of the Year in male and female categories. We have now come to that very important moment. It's time to reveal reveal our winners. Of the 10 shortlisted candidates, we have 4 finalists. And from these 4, 2 will be male and 2 will be female, champion, household worker, and runner-up. Before I announce the finalists, let me remind you of the prizes. Well, I changed my figure because of what the gentleman said. So up from $330,000 is $500,000, and that is and $200,000 for school. And then have high-low gift vouchers as well. And the second place is up from 215 to 250. Clap the all right, so we're talking about some enough funds here, but remember you were told to use these funds wisely. Ladies and gentlemen, to give you an idea of who the runner-up female household worker of the year will be, I will share with you an essay submitted by her nominator and employer. Runner-up now, runner-up with me. This lady has been a household worker since 1987, from about age 26, and the person writing says, I've limited my description to her being caring, sensitive, resourceful, and highly responsible in order to comply with the word constraint. One anecdote will suffice to make my point. Hurricane Gilbert struck in 1988. Neither my husband, myself, nor this person have ever experienced a hurricane. We had no electricity, and the flooring of the bedrooms was inundated with water. My husband and I were focused on comforting our children who were very young. But this person appreciated that, and without waiting for any direction from us, got the standby gas stove lighted and prepared dinner. In addition, she collected, she collected coconuts that fell from the trees that had collapsed, grated the coconuts and prepared drops for dessert. We're talking about Ms. Murray Brown. Murray Brown, the runner-up female worker of the year, to come on stage to accept her prizes. First from Stacey Ann Wright, Chief Operating Officer of the First Global Bank. And next, we will have Donna Taylor Wright of High-Low Food Stores, who will present the High-Low gift vouchers to her. Come again, come again, come again. Stephen Whittingham, Chief Investment Officer, GraceKennedy, to present the runner-up trophy to memory. Right. Stephen Whittingham, need you here. What a day. Congratulations, congrats. And congrats, wish you a great Christmas from. Keep up the good work. Ladies and gentlemen, our champion female household worker of the year is from rural Jamaica. She comes from the parish of Gate, Jamaica, the world, the fastest man in the world. Her nominator and employee have this to say about her. All right. I know things won't have to edit. How do I begin to express how much our household worker, so and so and so and so, means to her family since she started with us in 2007? She's no longer referred to as the housekeeper, but as my daughter and sister by my 2 adult children. We actually call her our boss, as without her, the house would go haywire. The Lord sent her to us at a critical point in our lives, a year after my husband, Reggie, passed. There was such a huge void which Sandra filled, now you know who. She's gifted that way. All our guests leave our house with a wow on their tongues. Her excellent service is who she is, and every day we experience this great service. We look forward to seeing her in the mornings because she lights up our lives with that smile and the calm, loving way that she cares for us. She's married with 6 children, 1 now deceased. And they are considered our extended family. Now, John, Sandra's dream is to become a nurse. No other things are born. In 2019, she graduated from Bethel Bible College with a certificate in Christian Ministry Level 1. She recently enrolled with Brownstown Community College doing evening classes in the area of commercial food preparation. And she's also now attending International School of Ministry, an extension of her headquarter church, Lifeline Deliverance in St. Anne's Philly, and of more things. Her community benefits from this love. I never stop, I'm just saying. We love Sandra, and we are proud of her. I'm unable to do her justice with these 200 words. That you can only know her by meeting her, and you'll understand. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Evening Spence is the boss. And the winner is Ingrid Grant Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, let's turn our attention to the LED screens. So come over here so meet my sister friend beside me for this short video presentation on our champion female household work of the year, Mrs. Ingrid Grant Smith.
My name is Ingrid Grant Smith, otherwise known as Sandra. I am working for Mrs. Spence for 13 years from 2007. I work 5 days for the week. Working here with the Spence's family, it don't feel pressured. Why? Because the warmth, the love that you felt here, you know, I can always talk to them and they let me feel like I am a part of them. It was like a family that I didn't have and I was searching for. Before I started working with Mrs. Spence, I was broken, I was depressed because I have 6 children and their father weren't working at that time, so all the pressure was on me. But when I came here and I met Mrs. Spence for the first time, and she started to encourage me and, you know, tell me every time that, Sandra, the sky is the limit. I see you traveling. I see you going places. Honestly, I don't think I would go anywhere else in the world to find this kind of love. What I want to say to other housekeepers like myself, love your boss, respect them. What you're doing, do it with love. Work well and put God first. And if you live and love your boss and respect your boss and do your job well and do it with love, you will make it.
Sure. You see our fix up team. Right, Stacey and Ryan, Chief Operating Officer of First Global Bank. And after Stacey, we have Catherine Kennedy, General Manager of Hilo Food Stores, who will present the Hilo gift vouchers to her. What a hug up. Love it, love it, love it. So Stacey makes the presentation. Catherine Kennedy now makes her way on stage. Look how she looks fabulous. Woo! Clap my own winner for this year and clap the winner. Yes, hold it. I feel one and I hold it. All right, stay right there, my sister. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Senator Don Webby, come up, please. Come on up, please. And bring Minister with you, yes. So Group CEO is presenting the perpetual trophy, and then the trophy the winner will keep after. So this is the perpetual trophy. All right, you're going to do the other one afterwards, okay. So we can give the other one afterwards. I believe you all understand the importance of this moment in your life. Minister said, you can stop. Oh, no. You're a good, nice sister. Praise God. Congratulations. Well done, Mrs. Brown. We commend you for the great work. There's a fine gentleman there to assist you. Now that we have crowned our champion female household work of the year, we'll turn the spotlight on the men. Thank you, Senator. Thank you, Minister. This person began work with us from 1999. He started out as gardener. However, not only is he the most honest person we have ever encountered, the most honest person, he's also a great cook and a handyman. We're able to leave our home for days, weeks, and sometimes months, leaving him to take care of all our household bills by simply putting the money into his account. And over the 20 years he's with us, there has never been a time when he has not performed all that we've asked him to. Wow. Yes. Listen to this. We can't read the whole thing, but we can read this part here. When he goes off for his weekends, he prepares our meals in advance to ensure that we're able to enjoy our meals. Praise God. Here we go. I'm going to invite our runner-up, Male Household Work of the Year, Esmond Daly, to come to the stage to accept his prizes, first from Stacey Ann Wright, Chief Operating Officer of First Mobile Bank, and next from Donna Taylor Wright of Hilo Food Stores. Yes, sir. Go to the center there, sir. Yes, man, smile. Listen, man, you have to smile. Mr. Stanford Harper, thank you so much for nominating this person. Thank you, Mr. Harper, and thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. And an easy something, you know. When you can trust somebody to the extent where you send money in that person's account and ask them to take care of your bills, and the person does it, and you have never had once to complain. Wow. Have you presented all? Yes? The trophy now, so we're going to move on. We have those two there now. And let me now say to Donna Taylor, who's going to make the presentation of the trophy? Steve? Where's Steve Brennan? Oh, Grace. I'm sorry about that. Okay, so here's Grace. Grace Burnett. All right. So we have the trophy for the runner-up, me.
To the camera.
Congratulations. Well done, sir. Thank you. Our champion male house worker is certainly an inspiration. This is what his nominator had to say for him, about him. I nominate my domestic assistant for the Household Work of the Year award. He's been of invaluable help to my family. He goes above and beyond all expectations in doing his work. Whether he's cooking, cleaning our home, driving me and my son to work, school, or extracurricular activities. He's polite, pleasant, professional, punctual, and patient. His favorite meal to prepare is curry chicken, and he leaves the house gleaming. He has a wonderful customer service attitude. There are times he's called upon to work extended hours, and he willingly does so without any complaint. He's willing to do any task he's been assigned. He's a dedicated father to his young daughter and is very involved in all aspects of her upbringing. He's a committed Christian. Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen as we play a video, a short video on Mr. Jermaine Cunningham.
My name is Jermaine Cunningham. I'm a certified housekeeper. I like housekeeping from a much younger person. So in terms of knowing that, I went to Hartrust NTA and I get myself certified. I work at Miss Garden Sommer's home.
I time with customs,
yes.
Like during the drought they look dry?
Yes. I have been with Miss Garden Sommer's for 1 year and 2 months now. Working for Miss Garden Sommer's, it is my home, away from home. The type of treatment that she gave me, I have never worked with anyone in my past life that really treat me this way. And for that, I said to myself, I have to ensure that I go the extra mile for her, whatever it takes.
Jermaine, when you finish there, I'll actually take the car. Yes. I have some bills to be taken care of at Bill Express.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. If Mr. Garden Summers want to go to the supermarket or pay a bill or go to pick up something or an appointment, then I'll just drove her vehicle to that location. I would say to a lot of men that coming into this industry is a perfect decision. There's a demand for male within this industry, and with that demand, you have to be multitask and you have to make up your mind that whatever comes, you're going to do your best. And it's only your best which will prove at the end of the day to be good enough. But it's a great industry to work in, being a male.
You have to be a confident man to do what he has done and continues to do. I hope many men will learn from you. Wow. And now Catherine Kennedy will make a presentation. Oh, they're not done. Hello. Serious business, you know. You see how much teeth tell you so much over there? Oh. Thank you very much. Catherine Kennedy, may I invite you up now to make your presentation, and this is on behalf of High-Low Food Stores. Please forgive me, but I have to make a little plug. I shop at High-Low Barbecue. I just want to I've been doing for years. That's my place. Support High-Low and it's part of Grace. Now see what's up? No people in my name. Before them, every now and once a month at least they ask them to put down boxes to become a shop. My mother never sleep and tell her what fear goes to buy a High-Low barbecue. I'm a joke business here, John. You know the thing, my sister. Tell them to joke me at me. Oh, Senator, wait there. I'm going out the door. Oh, sorry, he's going outside. Senator Webby, yourself and Minister, please come on up. Please, you have trophy to present. Woo. Yes. Jermaine, how are you feeling? Jermaine, say you feel great. Yes. So the Minister will make a presentation of this trophy, and Senator will...
I don't know, washing up something.
Yes. They want the Grace Easy.
Okay, let him.
What a way to celebrate in the Christmas season.
Hold it down somewhere. Hold it down somewhere. There you go.
I really believe we should clap for all of those who nominated and all of those who came out in the top 10 and the runners-up and the winners.
To God be the glory, great things he has done. I just want to thank you all for I want to thank God for this privilege that he has given me, that I could have been here. It's not, it's not because of, it's not because of me, but it's because of the grace of God. And this afternoon, I am feeling overwhelmed. Words can't even express. I thank Dr. Heather Little-White that's come up with this plan, because over the years I have been working, and honestly, I did not even know that this day would be possible. But thank be to God. Thanks God for, everything. I am feeling more than happy. And I just pray God blessings over each and every one of you. I thank God for Mr. Dan Webby. God bless you, sir. And I thank all the staff of GraceKennedy. And, I just want to tell you that God has made you all special. And it's because of your special and because of the warm love and because of the thoughtfulness that you have for us that is struggling out there to come up with such a wonderful idea. You don't understand what you have done for me today and for my family. You have no idea. My son over there is the last son, Will Simit, and he has graduated from the Marcus Garvey Technical High, and he was supposed to go in sixth form, and I couldn't even afford to send him. But to God be the glory.
And want to say on the behalf of my manager and myself, thanks to Mr. Dan Webby and Mrs. Babs Grange. I really appreciate this program. I want to say many thanks to the Grace Company and all the Grace family from High-Low. I was a person who was working with High-Low, never have any intention to leave. And when you made up your mind to work, you know that you got to do it. However, we went through some rough times, and High-Low have been good to me. I remember once my house got burned out, and to how good I work, the manager said to me, Jermaine, really and truly, we have to help you. We can't just have you here working, we just have to help you. And I think this manager went beyond his duty and said, I am going to go to the head office just for you. And just to do that, it shows me that I was doing a great job. However, my first day and my interview at High-Low, I don't remember the lady name, but she said to me, guess what? The person that you are, person like you, we want in our company. You are a person that will make our company better. Can you start work today? I said, today? She said, yes, today. I said, no, I can't work today, but surely I'll be here tomorrow. And from that day, I was working. And when I want to do anything at all, I would ask for time and I just go and do it. I love the High-Low train. I love the GraceKennedy train. I always have a desire to work with them. And I really appreciate Mr. Dan Webby. I have known him before, but he don't remember my face. Too many persons. So I really appreciate this. I want to say many thanks to a lot of managers who really took the time out to really appreciate us who do a great job. I also want to say that a lot of times persons in this field feel down, unappreciated, feel as if nobody cares. Then again, thanks to Mr. Dan Webby to show us that he do appreciate us being the man and woman of the household award. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. God bless you all.
And one small thing, Mrs. Pence, my boss, we were on our way here this afternoon, but what happened, our car broke down on the toll road, so she has to turn back. And I would wish if she were here with us today. You know, I just want to thank her. That's the Spence family that I've been working for. And I just pray God blessings over their life and to keep them, that they just continue to do what they do. And bless you all for continue doing the good work. Jamaica land we love.
Thank you. I don't think we need to say anything for wrap up. Yes, it done. Thank you very much. Have a good Christmas. Be alert and safe at your gate, on the road, in the shopping plazas. And remember, extend yourself to someone else this season. Do not forget the real meaning of the season. Walk good and tell them other one how to do. My sister Dion, thank you.